Welcome to this series. In this series, we are discussing about the Terraform with Azure. In this video, we will see what is Terraform module and why Terraform module is required. We will see the standard Terraform module structure and we will create a Terraform module. Let's see what is Terraform module. Terraform module is a set of Terraform configuration files in a single directory. If you are creating different Terraform files, I can put inside a single directory and that can be triggered as an Terraform module. Terraform module allows you to group resources of your infrastructure into a single unified resource called module. Now we will see why Terraform module is required. You can see the list of the benefits that we can get from the Terraform module. First is the reduced complexity. Day by day, your infrastructure getting bigger and some additional features you are adding, so it's being more complex. In this case, Terraform module reduce the complexity. Additionally, it reduces the risk. If you are navigating on different files, that can be a complex. That could be complex. And sometimes you want to change something on the file. During that process, unintended change can be placed on another sections. Terraform module reduce this kind of risk. Avoid repetition. With Terraform, you can put your code inside of a Terraform module and reuse that module in a multiple places throughout your code. Instead of having the same code copy paste in the staging and production environment, you will be able to have both environments reuse the code from the same module. In this case, you need to just pass the some required parameters, but you can reuse the code. Therefore, it avoids the repetition. Then you see increase readability and maintainability. Now you are putting your module inside a folder and it can have the submodule, it can have the directory of this and subdirectory based on the your requirement. In that way, readability and maintainability is so easy. Last one, you can see consistency. Modules also help to provide consistency in your configurations. By this considering all these benefits, you can understand why Terraform module we should use. Now see the standard module structure. A minimal recommended module following the standard structure is shown below. In the Terraform directory, you can have readme.md file that is just tell about the module, main.tf file that is a main file, variable files, output file, and license. You can see readme.md and license. These are the optional files, but it's good to have in your directory. If you are giving your module to someone, it will look like a standard module. And some companies want to see the license. So in standard module structure, these are the files. But some more files you can have, like your module is more complex. You can have the subfolders, like see here. A complete example of the module following the standard structure is shown below. Example includes all optional elements and is therefore the most complex module can become. Here you can see submodules folder are there, module A, module B. In every module you can see the Terraform files, readme file provide the details about the submodule, and you can have the examples. Root module is very important. Terraform file must exist in the root directory of the repository as a primary entry point. Now see how the module looks like in a code. I can put all these files into the module test folder. If you see, this is the standard syntax. It start module followed by the module name, curly bracket, and inside the bracket you can put the source. In the source, I have mentioned the local folder name. This is the web folder, local folder. But here, the important thing, we can read this module from somewhere else. Somewhere else means we can have the different source of module files. This is the basic syntax of the module. Let me create one module so that you can understand how it looks like. Inside this folder, I can create the module. I have I have this created module. I can put inside this folder manually. I can create the files or do one thing. Run the command. Here I can copy this one. Here you can either continue working on the configuration in your local directory or use the following commands to clone this GitHub repository. So let me do one thing. Copy this command. You can use this command to create the module. It's just cloning the module from the GitHub. I will use this command here. It's created very easily. So here you can see all the files. Let me show all this module inside the Visual Studio Code. Here you can see all the files. This is the syntax, module, module name, and the source folder. In the source folder, I am creating the resource group and passing some name that would be used like location and name of the resource group. Let me show the resource group. Inside resource group, you can see one more man.tf. See in this vs. In this file, we can see resource syntax. Here I am creating the one resource, Azure RM resource group with the name RG and the variable whatever I am passing from here. So this is the base name. With this name, resource would be created. Similarly, in root man, I have KC container registry. So I'm just creating the Azure container registry. If you go inside the container registry in the main file, you can see this is the command to create the Azure container registry. I will create the Azure container registry with this name. In the variable, it's taking the name from the variable file and appending some random string. Now you can see I'm creating two resources. Now what you have to do, you can run the command Terraform init. If I run the command, I need to go inside this folder. Now I can run the command Terraform init. It will download the providers. You can see the additional files have been added. Terraform, one more file will be added. Terraform log.html. Now we are ready to run the command Terraform apply. Terraform apply will create the plan and will ask us to confirm. We will review the changes and will say yes. Let's wait. Yes, here you can see it's showing the resources that would be created. Azure RM container registry, you can see, and resource random string that will just append to the name of the Azure container registry. And you can see the group name. This group would be created. It shows the item that would be added. 3 to add, 0 update, and 0 destroy. Do you want to perform this action? I will say yes. Once I click on yes, it will start to create the resources inside the inside the Azure. Now all these have been created. If I see inside the Azure, I can see this resource group has been created, and inside this resource group I have created container registry. This is the container registry, appended the random string. Therefore, we have created resources. We have seen how it easy to create the Terraform module, but I want to show the module source. We use the local source in the code. If you see, I use the local path. Instead of the local path, we can use the remote location that I'm going to show you. Here you can see the list of the source location. The module installer supports installation from a number of the different source types. We have seen the local path. We can use the Terraform registry as well. We, we can use the GitHub, Bitbucket, generic Git, HTTP, S3, GCS buckets. I showed you using the local path. You can see using the Terraform registry, Hasiko, and give the path. Then GitHub, I can use the github.com. I can use the global cloud storage. You need to put the GCS double colon prefix and followed by the URL. I can use the HTTPS. Let me show how it looks like if I use the source, different source other than local. I can show the GitHub example. Let me open these files. In the files, you can see I'm using the GitHub instead of the local. Here only you need to pass the source equals to GitHub repository. Let me show how it looks like into the GitHub. Here you can see the structure. I have the same structure what I had showed you. It having the container registry resources main.tf file. In the main.tf file you can see we are calling the two different submodules. Now let me run this file. I have my local main.tf. Here I am passing the GitHub URL. Let me run this command. I can use the terminal. I can say Terraform init. Same command I will use here. You can see provider has been downloaded. Provider is coming from this file. Azure is the providers. Here you can see that has been added. Now I can follow the same command, Terraform apply. As I have already added the same resource group, so it will not allow me to add again, but you can understand we can use the GitHub, and additionally you can use the different source for the Terraform module apart from the local. Why it's showing the 328? Because now it's generating the same resource inside a different folder, but I have already used this one. But let me try. Let me say yes, create the same resource. It's saying cache resource already exists to be managed via Terraform. But that makes sense. We have already added. So my purpose was just tell you it will give the message or error. Resource group with this name already exists. Therefore, you can create the module and you can use the different source, local and remote module. That's all in this video. I will see you soon in the next video. Till then, happy learning.